Hello, listeners. Thanks for joining another episode of the Skin I'm In podcast. I'm your host, Chanel, and this is a place where women can tune in to gain peace through clarity, purpose through inspiration, and the permission to be themselves through the stories of other women. If you're enjoying these episodes so far, click the like, share, and subscribe button so that more women like you can be positively impacted by the stories in this podcast. My guest today is a woman who has recently taken her passions of promoting independence and identity in young women to YouTube, where she posts personal vlogs and warnings against the dangers of social media. I came across my guest's story on YouTube and learned that she had chosen to do a 12-month social media detox, and I was curious as to how that impacted her life. Now more than 800 days free of any social media usage, she has used this time to learn more about herself and work on her debut novel. It is because of this passion for writing that she aims to help young women live a more fulfilled and authentic life rather than spending precious life moments doom scrolling socials and falling victim to measuring their value against unrealistic imagery they see online of other women. A smart young woman, she's a fourth-year English major who is studying writing and literature and wondering what the heck she's going to do with a degree like that. As the chronically single friend who is always giving advice to others, I'm looking forward to finding out what her advice would be to our listeners today about the pitfalls of social media and womanhood in 2024. Welcome to the Skin I'm In podcast, Gillian Laird.
Hello, that was really awesome.
No,
I love that intro.
it's
It was
all
great.
you.
I know, it just makes me feel so professional. I don't know, as if I'm not sitting here in my pajamas, like sunburned.
Yeah.
But that was great. Thank you.
I'm interested in your story personally, but I also think that there is so much value in sharing some of the things that you've experienced since you gave up social media. And so take me through the moment you decided that that's what you were going to do. You were going to go off social media. What triggered it?
So I was working. It was my first job ever. And the environment turned from a place that I loved and had a lot of friends to a place where I was very ostracized, very lonely. I was kind of turned against. And it was just a very isolating time in my life. And when I finally got the courage to quit, I decided, you know what? I need to heal from this and I need to do so in an authentic way versus what I feel like social media tempts people to do, where they, what I like to call people spite instead of people please, where they will post all these things to spite the person that has made them unhappy. Like, look at me without you in my life. I'm doing so much better. And that's not the case really ever. It's usually the opposite. And so I knew that I would do that and I shouldn't. So I deleted the apps. And also I just didn't want the people who had made me feel so lonely. I didn't want them to have access to me anymore. And I know there's the block button, of course, but I don't know. My decision was to just delete the apps off my phone. So that's what I did. And after a year, which was the time I allotted for myself, I fully planned to get them back, but I just realized that I had no interest. So I went back and fully deleted my accounts. So it's all gone.
Right. So eventually, initially you had deactivated everything and then you went back and you deleted it because you just realized you didn't need it.
Yeah, fully wiped off. Gone.
Yeah. And you had mentioned that you had saved all your photos and videos and you were looking forward to sharing them online once you were back on.
Yeah.
What happened after that 12 months? Why did you not want to share that anymore?
So that 12 months was very jam packed. That was 2022. So concerts were coming back. Basically the world was awakening again after the pandemic. And so I went to like 12 to 14 concerts that year, and I was filming, taking pictures every single time with the thought process of, I can't wait to photo dump all of this and prove my happiness once again. So defeating the purpose of what I was doing. And to be honest, I can't really pinpoint an exact moment where I realized the change. It just, as it got closer and closer to New Year's Eve, I was like, oh my gosh, I should be excited right now. This is what I've been waiting all year for, but I'm not. And so that's when I just decided I think I've been happier. I think I've grown more in this year than I have in the past 10 years of having these apps. So I think this is my sign to just be done altogether. And that's what I did.
What do you think's changed for you?
I think that I've discovered more about myself because before I was the type of person that I knew who I was, but I would blast that in people's faces. Like, I don't know, searching for the equivalent of likes in real life. Like, I would take a facet of myself and shove it at people like it was an Instagram photo and be like this, like this. It's so cool that I do this. Like, for instance, if I would be in the car in a drive through line and a song would come on the radio or come on my shuffle, I'd be like, oh, wow, this would get me brownie points with certain people, knowing that I listen to this. Let me take a picture and put it on my story. And so I still found myself wanting to do that over the year that I was off. And I would literally try to scrounge up ways to tell people, oh, I listen to this. I'm so cool, right? And that's a little bit silly. Like, if you know who you are, you should be cool in that, I think, versus splashing it around. And so I became terribly aware that I did that. And that was kind of the first step of deciding I need to be done for a lot longer because I've got a lot to work on. Did that answer the question?
You did, and I'm sitting here
Okay.
like ding, 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 because so much of what you just said applies to so many people. So how, like, it's super aware of you to recognize that you needed more time off social media than the one that you had planned. You recognize that you were still falling for some of the social media marketing tricks that they, put out for us.
Yeah.
What do you want women to know about the dangers of social media?
Wow. That's a really good question. Honestly, that it's all a lie. The stuff that we see on there of celebrities and influencers, none of it is real. It's edited, it's smoothed. I mean, and even then again, like, even if it's not, it's like they have the financial access to be able to do that to themselves. But at the end of the day, they all look the same and you are unique. You have features that make you beautiful, even if it's not what you're seeing online. Like, I just did a whole video on like the beauty standard and whatnot. And I think that what social media has done is made it easier to hate ourselves. And I think that's the point because they're trying to sell you a life and a look. And most of the time, it's fantasy, it's unattainable. And then when you attain it, that doesn't fill that void inside of you that feels insecure. It's just like a band aid on a bullet hole. And so I just think that I would tell any and every woman that social media is not real and your individuality is what is and it's what's special. And I think learning more about that and embracing that is the key to a happier life.